What's up, guys? Let some of you guys, I'm sorry for those of you that were over in my other stream that I attempted to start, and now, yeah, there's a bunch of people waiting. I feel really bad. Sorry to those of you guys that were over in the other one. Hopefully I can get you guys over to this one if I can figure out how to cancel. I don't know. This, some of this stuff's just goofy. I'm sorry about the start of this here. Trying to get everyone from the other one over into this one. There we go. Delete. Okay. Now hopefully some of you guys come over from the other one. 6.0 roll call. Welcome, guys. So hopefully as we get a few more of you guys in here, we can start talking about, what's up, brother? How you doing, man? So Josh and I were talking the other day. Well, just last night we were hanging out. 6.0 family as always. That's right. And we came up with what I think is a pretty cool idea for some of you 6-liter guys out there. Obviously, we're big on the 6-liter for a new giveaway. And instead of giving something away, what we want to do is we want to actually help you guys work on your trucks. So the idea we're kind of working on is new 6.0 owner and subscriber. How's it going? Hey, man, thanks for subscribing. We appreciate it. Thanks for coming in. I just started talking about the new giveaway Josh and I are coming up with. And the whole idea behind this is to actually help you guys work on your trucks. Now, some of you guys don't need our help in any way, shape, or form. And some of you guys do. We get kind of a mixed review of subscribers for this, that some people want help and some people are very confident in what they're doing. And obviously a lot of our videos are focused on helping out the 6-liter community. So the whole giveaway idea is actually to select a winner that's willing to drive out to hang out with us and do a modification to their truck for free, obviously. Now you guys will have to supply the parts, but instead of paying shop labor, basically come out and hang out with us. And what we'll do is we'll turn around and we'll install a part on your truck, whether that be an EGR delete or injectors, turbo, Y-pipe, exhaust, whatever. But that's kind of our new idea for a giveaway. Basically, come hang out with us and get a part installed. And like I said, depending on what the mod is, we'll give you a list of what all you guys need to bring to have that modification done in a weekend. And also that, yeah. You like that idea, man? Josh is really the one that came up with most of this. Diesel Rick, how you doing, man? So the credit needs to go to Josh for the idea. And again, we haven't figured everything out that we want to do quite yet. Truck Guy Joe, you going to delete that? I was just watching a video earlier today about that. I've known that there's been stuff in testing for at least a pretty good chunk of time now, but I only saw today that there officially deletes are available to the public. Deleting any of the new stuff is expensive, Diesel Wreck. Well, man, part of why I learned to wrench on my own vehicle is because I don't have the money to pay someone to do it all the time. And don't get me wrong, I wouldn't want it any other way. I love maybe I'd like more money, but I love being able to wrench on my own stuff. And if we can help a subscriber out, I think that'd be awesome. We get pretty regularly get hit up for advice and stuff, or asking for shops through our YouTube and sometimes even on our Instagram. And for a small portion of them, some of them are local. There's a guy roughly 4 hours away that I've been talking to the last couple of days about injectors for his truck. He kind of got the first hint about our plan. Trying to get my ECM back by 10:20. Joe, are you deleting already? Did you actually send it out to get deleted? Because that's awesome. That'll make the event even more fun. Or is Banks working on like a revision for your stuff already? I know you've been working with them on the, I want to say Deranger, is it, tuner that they have for the L5P? Which those of you guys that don't know, some of you guys may be new to the channel, but Truck Guy Joe and I raced at the one YouTube call-out event, and just the other day we found, or I guess it was just yesterday or today. My days run together sometimes. Oof, yeah, that's not good. Yep, not worth the risk then, Joe. Definitely not worth the risk. But we just found out that we will be racing again on October 20th. Diesel Rick, I run a few different tunes. I'm actually considering getting a new one just for the race at on the 20th. But right now, my tow tune is from Windrunner Performance Engineering. It's a modified version of the tune he sells. It's actually makes even less power than his normal tow tune, but I'm towing fairly heavy. Excuse me. So I wanted something that was pretty moderate for performance. Now it's actually a fun daily driving tune. Sure, it's no race tune, but it's pretty fun to goof around on. So I do love that tow tune. And then I typically daily drive either his race tune or Innovative Diesel's extreme street tune. And then when I go race Truck Guy Joe, I run Innovative Diesel's Ultimate X tune right now. That's kind of my setup. I'm looking at Truck Source Diesel for my next tune to try their SPD. It has a ton of good reviews and is right up there in the mix with some of the fastest tunes that you hear people talk about. So I'm considering giving them a whirl as well. Seth, how you doing, brother? Welcome to the live stream. My dog has no idea what to do right now. Anyway, guys, so for those of you guys that just joined in, the whole giveaway here is going to be for those of you guys that are closer to us and are willing to, when we pick one, we're going to do a mod to your truck. Josh and I, again, we haven't worked all the different kinks out of this plan, but essentially you provide the mod and come hang out with us and we install it on your truck and kind of teach you how to do it if it's something you're not comfortable with. That's really who we're gearing this first one towards when we do it, is we're looking for somebody that really needs our help. In the future, it'll probably be a little more open, but we are hoping to find somebody that really needs a hand in installing it to try to continue to help out. So that powerstroke bloke, he's doing homework. Ford Diesel normally pops in. Bloke and Diesel normally get in. I'm shocked Seth isn't here yet. He normally, not you, Sean, that's who I'm looking for. Sean normally pops in by now. But the last live stream was pretty long. Maybe he needs a break from us. So, Joe, what's getting done to your ECM right now? Is it just a new upgraded flash from Banks, or an updated GM flash plus the tuner, or what's going on with that? You need to make sure that truck is up and running for our race the 20th. I need another shot at your truck. Bloke, welcome. We were just talking about you. No rods but the fixed Ranger. I'm going to have to inspect your truck this time prior to the race. You're going to come in on like skinny front tires and a big drag radial or something. And Joe, you're towing your Cyclone down, right? Seth, I haven't gotten a chance to go out and check how the temps have been with the new one. Joe, I would be honored to. That would be truly an honor. That'd be a blast. I I'm in. If you trust me enough to run your truck, I will definitely I'll definitely run it. That'd be a blast, man. We'll go for a ride in the 6-liter. It's got a little more get up than it did back then. Hopefully it can make up for my lack of being able to get to a decent 60-foot time. Because that's definitely a problem. Mom, that wasn't polite. It was kind of rude. For those of you that can't hear, my mom just asked if I was going to have a backup ride since last time there was a little bit of a debacle at the track with a certain wire grounding out. Dude, that would be awesome, Joe. You versus your wife in the quarter mile. Diesel Rick, I am very highly considering a 6-liter regular cab for a project race truck. Holy crap, guys, Tyler. Tyler is one of the longtime subscribers to the channel back when we were even smaller than we are now. I think Tyler started watching within like maybe the first handful of months that we started this and has been a huge supporter of the channel. So welcome. Good to have you, Tyler. But yeah, Diesel Rick, I am definitely considering a regular cab. I really want one. I need to find one for a decent price, and because it's not something I'll drive all the time. Not to say I won't take the race truck to work every now and then. Zach, good to have you, man. But that is definitely a future project that I am considering. Josh has some ideas for his projects as well. His truck should be making a comeback to the channel here soon with some new stuff he'd like to do. I'll let him reveal all those things he's looking for. Tyler, thank you. We appreciate it. Thank you for your service, Tyler. Whistling 60, how you doing? Welcome to the live chat. Jonathan, who won? I hope you beat the Cummins, but there's a lot of really modified Cummins out there that are really fast. Sean, welcome in. Guys, I think other than Ford Diesel, we're missing Ford Diesel yet. Then I think the normal crowd is here. Everybody, welcome. Although we did just go back up to 17, maybe Ford Diesel just popped in. But so for those of you guys that haven't been around since the start of this, two big things to announce. First, we are missing infamous 60. I know he's very busy. I love that guy. I hope he pops in. That'd be awesome if he did. But two big pieces of news for everybody. First is that it is official. I will be racing on October 20th at Maple Grove at the YouTube Callout. They just announced the other day that you can buy a place to race when you get in there. So, am I the only Chevy guy here? Joe, believe it or not, the 6 Obers do not grab a lot of Chevy owners' attention. I am definitely pumped. Bloke, I know you were excited. You were asking, we are racing. I will get a rematch against Truck Guy Joe. I'm very excited for that. And hopefully I improve. At the end of the day, if I just improve on my last time, I did go to slightly bigger injectors. If I just keep getting better, it's all in good fun. Truck Guy Joe and Hammer Down Motorsports, I got to give a shout out to those guys who kind of helped coach me through on how to actually get off the line. I think he will be. He hasn't been doing, I know he's been busy. I hope he shows up. I think he had an Instagram post about just getting his truck back from something the other day. I'll have to hit him up and see if he's planning on coming. I'd love to race him again. So let me get caught up here in the comments. Hey, bro, new to the channel. Hey, man, thank you. Horsepower on my truck, which is the white truck, is hard to say. I did do injectors recently. Previously, it dynoed 503 horsepower and 1010 pound-feet of torque. So with the injectors, I am estimating that it's roughly in the 525 to 550 range. 550 is probably a little generous, but 525, 540, and probably just under 1,100 foot-pounds of torque. So we're getting up there. We do have plans for a bigger turbo and injector yet on my tow truck before what we were talking about earlier is getting a project race truck to do. Let's see here. I think I kind of that is a whistling 6.0. That's a long list. I'll give you the highlights though. We have a CSF 6028 intercooler, cast aluminum end tanks on it, really nice piece, thicker than stock, bar and plate design. Colt Stage 2 cam. I'm running a PowerMax turbo, Kill Devil diesel cylinder heads that are O-ringed, Warren Diesel Premium 175 stock injectors, turbo back exhaust. We have a 2.5-inch leveling kit with airbags in the rear on 35s. I'm sure a fast fuel system. I am missing stuff, but I am planning on doing an update video on where we ended for the season with a lot of stuff done. I will do a more thorough video on that. What tuner? I run SCT with custom tunes from Innovative Diesel and Windrunner Performance Engineering, although I am looking at getting Truck Source Diesel's race tune as well here in the near future. Truck Guy Joe, I'm all about racing against his travel trailer too. That would be a blast. Seth, my last quarter-mile time with stock injectors and running into a small issue on my last 2 passes. My best time was a 14.7 something at 95 miles an hour. So I have the speed to crack 13s before I did injectors. I just couldn't get off the line fast enough is what it comes down to. The truck had the ability to be much closer to a 2.1, 2.2 60 foot, but I was cranking out 2.6s. Yeah, Truck Guy Joe has a video of it, of us wrestling, close enough, drag racing, of us drag racing. And what a blast. I can't give Truck Guy Joe enough props for helping me out because he definitely made me look like less of a goofball up there. I have not heard of the 300 horsepower tune for the 6.4s, although it sounds like it's a little steep because if I remember right, they make like 350 horsepower, so they're roughly 290 to 300 to the wheels. You're talking, trying to think. So you're saying 600, I've heard 550 out of a stock 6.4. But I have not heard of 600, which would be amazing if they can do that. Tuning is advancing every day, so I could definitely see, it's been quite a few years since 550 on a fairly stock 6.4 was doable, so I could see it. Tyler, I did. Other than the radiator, I love towing with the setup. The cheap intercooler pipes, we're getting rid of them. I already got rid of one. I'm planning on getting rid of another. I was going to wait till further into winter, but now that I know I get to race, I'll be changing out my cold side too. And I actually have a new part coming from Greg over at DNA in the next 2 weeks or so. So we'll have another part to slap on the truck here shortly. Very excited about that. And the truck, I mean, it's amazing how well it pulled. It really is. It's nothing short. I don't want to say it's not like it wasn't back there, but it was, it really felt that good. Clean. Some guy told me one was out. Like I said, I could definitely see it. Tuning is constantly changing and advancing and getting better, so I could see it. I have not heard it, but uh, it would be pretty impressive to see somebody get that kind of power out of it. I have no plans to put any of Sinister Diesel's parts on my truck, although I do think their degas bottle looks really nice. Excuse me, but I have a Mishimoto one already, so right now I'm not really considering it. Tyler, what I did is I completely replaced the hot side pipe and put MBRP pipe on, which comes with really nice boots. It's a really, really nice setup, and it fits perfectly in there. I was very happy with it. With the cheap kit, what I'm finding the issue is it's with the clamps themselves. The boots are actually pretty nice quality. The pipes seem to be pretty nice too, and they have a rolled edge to prevent blow-offs. So I actually like the pipes and think they're fine. What I don't like is the clamps are garbage. Yeah, they look nice and everything, but they are complete garbage. I think the kit would be fine if you went and got nice clamps, or if they charged $50 more and gave you nice clamps with it, because that's what they should really do. Tyler, I'll be changing out my complete cold side pipe in the near future. I'm going to put the intake elbow on for a minute, and then by the time I do that, I'll probably order my new pipes and put them on. So and I'm planning on doing a giveaway. Somebody did want to offer me a couple bucks for the old pipes and boots, but I think I'd rather give it away, to be honest, because I only think it's really worth, like, in my opinion, $50 tops. For $50, I think I'd rather just do a giveaway where somebody was willing to come up and pick them up from me. I do not know what my toe tune makes for power. If I had to guess, I'd say the toe tune pick me up. 60. What's up, brother? The toe tune, if I had to guess, is making probably 650 to 670, or 350 to 370 to the wheels. I have no idea on torque. I'll probably dyno it at some point, but I do love that toe tune. Awesome. Yes, you do, Drow. You need to do a better video on that, brother. I want to see more of it. Jonathan, I am going to change out the intake elbow for a cheap thing, and then I'm going to get a nice whole cold side pipe. Whistling 60, what the giveaway is instead of giving away an actual item, what Josh and I are talking about doing is, as we pick a winner, which when that video comes out, we'll be very specific that you need to be willing to come up to us, and basically we're going to install a part for your free. You have to supply everything, but for people looking to do injectors but don't want to pay labor, this would be a good thing, or a turbo, Y pipe. Depending on what the mod is, we'll be very specific when we do. But that is the plan for the giveaway, to kind of offer some help and teach you how to do it at the same time. So, injectors or something we can do. We'll kind of go from there. High pressure oil pumps, oil cooler, intake manifold. So there's a fair amount that we're willing to do and help out. So we're pretty excited for that. We were just talking about you earlier. That we're hoping you're coming to the next call out on 10/20. It's $100 to race as many times as many passes as you can get. So I hope you're going to come up and race again. I think you definitely have to go, Mike. That'd be a blast. It'd be good to see you again, man. And of course, seeing the 6 liters out there. Jordan, you're not racing. It's not happening. Tyler, good seeing you, man. You take care of yourself. Thanks for coming in. My goal is to run a 13. bring your truck down to Texas. Maybe one day if I were to get a little bit or a lot bit bigger on YouTube, I actually have a friend in Texas we've been talking about flying down, not driving down though. My goal is a 13.5, Joe. That is my goal for the truck. I don't think I'll get it, but I want to aim high and hope for the best. And hopefully, like I said, I just want to keep improving from my last time at the track. But I do think with the injectors done now, I should be able to break into the 13s. Always up too late. How you doing, man? Good to have you in. You've been like a ghost lately, brother. If I can get a good launch, and I think that's really the secret, if I can get a good launch with the injectors that are in there and 14.3 is a good time. I have 175 stock injectors in the truck now. Are you going to tune your truck now? Let me get up here a second. I think the truck had a 13.9 in it with the cam and everything that was done. I didn't have injectors in then, but I do think I'm the big issue, not the truck. And as far as being able to get there, I think a 13.5 is in it if I can get a good launch. If I can get down around a 2:0 60-foot time, which is by no means a great 60-foot time, but if I could do that, I feel like a 13.5 would maybe be the only pass I got. I might stop racing at that point. Well, always up too late. I hope everything's good. Send it, you got it. Shoot me a text sometime, brother. Joe, I did notice you didn't answer 60. Are you gonna have a tune truck? I'm gonna hold off on tuning. Let's see here. I missed a question in here. Just bought a 60. It's bad with a 12-inch lift, full bulletproof. Do you have any advice? What are you looking to do with it? Do you want a daily driver? I mean, 12-inch lift sounds more like a mud truck. 3 Vest Fords. Well, 3 Vest Fords, I think part of my issue is I believe my brake booster is kind of starting to go, so I am planning on replacing that before I actually go drag race. So hopefully at the line, what was happening is as I was getting in it a little more, the brakes couldn't hold enough pressure to keep me on the line, and I red lighted one of my passes. So something I need to work on. Now I am doing an 05 axle swap this fall sometime, but that won't be till after the race. So I can't do that yet. Always up too late. It's good to have you in here. I love when all the subscribers that have been around for a long time pop in. And 060, always good to have you. Good to see you, man. I hope on the 20th we get to hang out again. And tell Justin to come up if he's free. Be good to see him again. Next will be a full billet trans. I've been looking at transmissions because my truck is kind of in gray area, but I do think I need an upgraded transmission. But since after this year, it's not going to really do a lot of racing anymore because the plan is to build a truck for racing. I don't know that I'll go full billet. So, but it's gonna Sean, it's definitely gonna need a transmission. In the, I mean, typically how I'm driving around town, I think I'm fine. But for regular drag racing, I do think I'll need to either try to do some weight savings, which I'm not willing to do because it's my daily driving truck and I kind of like my comforts. And the full billet transmission, man, a lot of the ones I was looking at are $6,000-$7,000. It's just a lot of money. I'd love to have one, but I don't know if it's put some slicks on it. Did you lower yours truck yet, 060? You were talking about it before. You're talking about lowering it and saying you weren't going to race again until it was lowered. Put some slicks on it. I wish I had money for a spare set. I would definitely run Greg. Greg would destroy me in a heartbeat. But I'd love to race him. If I see him, he's actually a really approachable guy. And I would love to go up and I plan to go up and ask him if I can get a race. He's really a nice guy. I got to talk to him at the Dirty Diesel Dyno event towards the end. I was hanging out with Hammer Down Motorsports, and he came over and talked to us for a little bit. Just really down-to-earth, cool guy. And he has some really cool trucks. They will all destroy me. But it would be a blast to race him. I have seen the first gen. The first gen was racing the last time. They did a video on your truck? Because that's pretty awesome. This is definitely really awesome that they did that. I'll have to check that out, brother. That's cool. I do know he's making it really mean. It's going to be cool to see. I'm not sure what truck he plans on bringing up, but I do hope he brings that one. He does have the black 08 that before he blew up the turbo was making like 800 horsepower or something crazy like that. He's definitely got luck. Yeah, his dually. I think the dually is the only vehicle he owns that I could beat. Anything else, I'm 90% certain would destroy me. I remember, and he hot lapped it when he did that. I remember you looking at me going, "I'm going to go ask Greg to race," and he said yes. So I am planning on trying to race him just because I think it'd be cool. I know I'm not going to beat him. He is an awesome build, but it would be cool just to race him. Another truck guy out there. I'm not sure what truck. I don't know if he's talked about what truck he's planning on bringing to the call out, but he's got the dually. He's got 2 or 3 trucks just lying around. Not sure how you get to a point where you just have trucks lying around like that, but talk him into running the dually. If he would run the dually, that would be lovely for me because I might actually win. I don't see him doing that, but it would be awesome if he let me race it. She thought dude, that would be awesome. Now, would you delete that and trailer that to events? Because that would be cool. That'd be pretty cool to be able to say, run a 13.5. 13.5 is definitely the goal for the truck. Hey, Uncle Mike, how are you doing? Mike C is actually my uncle, everyone. Stripped out interior trailer only. So you don't get in trouble, Joe. Mike, thank you for coming in. Good to see you. Yeah, guys, there's a ton of support from the family for doing this. I don't know that the channel would have grown into what it is without the family putting up with me initially to kind of get this thing going. 060 wants a regular cab too, huh? I think my mom's coming in now. You don't want to come say hi to family, Mom?
Say hi.
Yeah. Uncle Mike, Mom says hi. Looks very good, Mom. I'm glad I taught you how to do that. You're welcome. I'm a good son. Ford Diesel, welcome. We were wondering when you were going to come in. Mom, Mike said hi. It was a fleet truck and an oil gas engine. That had to stink rolling that with a gooseneck attached to it. That would be a little startling, I think. For diesel. Ever thought about doing a food vlog with the truck crew? It's not crossed my mind. I eat a lot, though. I was asked if I would do a food vlog with the truck crew if I thought about doing that, and I said no, but I eat a lot. It would be very easy for me to. Joe, that would be awesome, dude. That would truly be cool. Plus, I'd have somebody to race when I get my regular cab. Yeah, going to the Callout and racing turned out to be a terrible idea for my bank account because now I want a second truck to turn into a drag truck. For diesel, we were wondering when you were going to pop in. Where did you learn to work on diesels? I kind of just learned from trial and error. Josh kind of taught me how to wrench. My grandfather was a really good mechanic when he was still with us. And Josh got to actually grow up around his shop. You know, he would babysit him, and Josh got to play on floor jacks and stuff and have fun. And my mom remembers actually growing up around the shop and stuff too. So I guess it's in my blood a little bit. But I just started with small stuff. I started with brakes and shocks, and one day, without really knowing much of what I was doing, I decided I was going to do an EGR delete, block off, and a new oil cooler in my truck, and that kind of inflated my confidence a bit. And now I feel pretty confident working on most things related to the 6-liter. That doesn't take. It's a fairly simple motor to work on, especially once you get in a few times. And my best advice would be to just start learning. The internet's a great place to learn. And when I was just starting out working, every job I did on my truck that I didn't have to pay a shop to do, I would invest the money I would have spent in a shop in new tools for my truck. I will say this, part of why I love working on my truck so much is because it's not how I make a living. There's nothing wrong with working another great job that allows you to kind of follow your passion in another aspect. And I'm a nurse by trade. That's what I do for work. And that kind of allows me to do what I need to as far as my YouTube and working on the truck and having fun and just kind of goofing off some. Here I am at 14. Whenever I see a truck go by, all I can do is dream. Well, for diesel, at 14, I wanted my dad's 7.3. And, it happens. You work hard, get a good job, whether that's a trade or go to school for something, and turn around and work hard, and you can definitely do it. That's all there is to it. I didn't do anything special. I just worked hard. Now I'm hungry now. Now that you mention it, I'm hungry too. What ended the live stream? Jared had to go eat again. Yeah, for diesel, all of us that you see, the only reason we have what we have is because we worked hard. It's not glamorous, but That's how most people get what they need. It's just from busting your butt. I worked a lot of overtime for the truck build I currently have. Truck guy Joe, every time I text or call him, he's always working. I think the only time he's not working is to come into my live streams and when he sleeps. He's a very busy guy. Did leave us? Did he leave? Have a good night, Uncle Mike. Thanks for coming in. Decent work. I haven't really messed much with wanting to do any kind of interior swaps. I do want to do either a third seat up front or switch to a different center console, something bigger. The 08's pretty popular. It bolts right up. So had a picture, I think, on its Instagram the other day about the 6.7 console. I thought that looked cool. And that install looked really clean, too. Ryan, nice to have you in here, man. Thank you for coming in. This is one thing I want to say is when you get on forums, I go on the forums to try to kind of help promote the YouTube channel and everything. And the one thing I have to say is there can be so many people that are just mean to something. There was a 18-year-old kid or something somewhere in that age group that was buying his first truck, and like 10 people just jumped down his throat mocking him and basically just belittled him. Here this kid is excited to get a truck, and a bunch of people that already have 6 liters treated him like crap. And I was the only one that jumped in, was like, you guys are just being losers. Like, leave him alone. Be happy for him. If you don't have any, like, if you're just going to belittle him, leave him alone. Whereas you come on here, and for the most part, we're lucky to have an awesome community that comes and hangs out for these live streams, and you have a bunch of random people encouraging a 14-year-old. I think that's awesome to see stuff like that happen. Jonathan, that'll change in time, brother. Thanks. First time I enjoy your upload. Ryan, thank you. Appreciate it. The 6.7 console does look cool. And 6.0 roll call. If you could send me a link to that, I would love to check it out. Or my Instagram name is the same, except after the 0, there's an H. If you could send me a picture, that'd be really cool. Other people to watch, 60, who's in our chat now. If you're not subscribed to him, go check him out. Truck Guy Joe has another awesome channel with Cyclone and L5P Duramax, maybe a second one coming at some point. And Hammer Down Motorsports is a fun channel to watch. Greg A has a ton of truck content. I love his channel. Cletus McFarland does some funny stuff. I really like his channel as well. Chevy fanboy here. Who else is there? Guitarmageddon ZL1. A lot of people watch him. He has 2 Camaros that he mods. He has 2 really awesome Camaros. And Street Speed 717 has another cool channel. Those are probably my regular go-tos right there. I am monetized now, yes. We are in our 2nd full month of being monetized, so that's kind of cool. But the process to get there is you need, I believe it's 4,000 hours watch time in 12 months, which is actually fairly simple to do. What I struggle with is subscribers. Getting it to 1,000 subscribers was hard for me, but it took us 11 months to do it. And then from there, you just submit it. Took 30 days, give or take, to approve us, and that's it. A lot of work goes in. If I will say this to anyone looking at starting a YouTube channel, do not start it with the idea of you're going to make money. Pick something that you'd love to make money at one day, but make sure you're passionate about it, because a lot of time goes into every video that comes out. Or doing these live streams are a blast when all you guys come in and comment and everything. So these are fun and easy to do, but live streams, at least for my channel, make the least amount of money. So don't do this for financial reasons. Do this because you enjoy it, because you want to do something on YouTube, help people, show people something, welcome them into your life a little bit. It's different, but it's definitely not a cakewalk to get there. To the guys that are successful, to the Guitar Mageddon ZL1s, the Mikes, the Street Speed 717, Cletus McFarlane, Greg A's, they're still working hard to make good content. A lot of time goes into every one of those videos, and most of the guys I listed work full-time jobs still. So just something to consider as far as money goes. Passion of the diesels. That's right, brother. The guy who built my house had a crazy fast 6.0. Too much truck for me. Sorry, went from a nice truck to a 5.9 Cummins. The 6.6 though I like. I do like the Duramax. I like the V8 diesels more than the inline 6. What do you think the best truck for the next year will be? I'm obviously a diehard Ford fan, and I think the 2017 Fords is, well, I guess we're coming out on 2019. Ford is my personal favorite. That being said, the L5P is an impressive motor from factory. So I think they are slowly leaving Dodge behind, because they have better transmissions, in my opinion, and an overall better motor. Just my opinion, not hating on Dodge, because Lord knows there's a ton of fast Dodges out there. I just think when you talk about transmission, that can't hold up. Now I have heard they have one transmission that's actually doing well and is supposed to do. Hopefully they just offer one automatic transmission in their manual and call it a day. Instead, I believe they have 3 different options with the diesel. Massaging seats. Ford diesel, that'd be a cool truck. Lord knows the 7.3 has a following unrivaled by any motor. The 7.3 is a great motor, and I think people love it. James, welcome. Good to see you, man. Sean, I don't really follow any of the diesel podcasts, so I'm not really experienced with them. I have seen PSP has some stuff, but I never really got into watching too many of the podcasts. Just not something I've kind of gotten into yet. Lord knows I can find new hobbies. Videos don't get views, but I have yet to make videos, sit and talk about them. Just burn out. 3 best Fords, that's because it is weird to talk to a camera. And let me tell you, I felt like I was losing it when I first started filming it. And some of those first couple videos, when I was trying to get comfortable in front of the camera and kind of realizing that there is an audience on the other side of this, and bring myself normal, I either talked way too quiet or I would talk way too loud. And it took me probably 30 videos until I kind of settled into feeling comfortable and was talking like I talk in my everyday life. It definitely takes a little bit of time. Truck Guy Joe, I'm excited for the new big trucks from Chevy. I think that's awesome. They're offering them again. Sean, send me a link to somebody sometime. I'll check them out. I don't know that Ford ever sold the 650 as a street truck. I think people bought them and just converted them. I could be wrong, but I think they were all conversions. Truck Guy Joe, if you only realized how many edits I took. There's a lot of stuff that gets cut out of the final product that makes it in. A 16. A 16.67, are you tuned, deleted? What's going on with your truck? Because a stock 6.7, I feel very confident that my truck would walk over. But a tuned 6.7 is now a completely different animal. And now we're talking, because you figure, I believe in 16, they're making like 440 horsepower. So that puts it around 370-ish to the wheels. So tuned, deleted. I think we'd have a pretty close race. It's hard to say where exactly my truck is because I haven't dynoed it yet and haven't drag raced it yet until the 20th. We'll be changing that. 20th of next month, we race again. But I believe the 16s with deleted tune intake exhaust, that whole nine, I think they're low to mid 500s. And I should be right in there too. I should be a low to mid 500 truck at the moment. So it would probably be a pretty close race. The 16s, were those the ones that went to aluminum yet? Because you might be a little lighter than me. I never looked up the weight. So if we're similar and you're a tad lighter, then I would definitely say yours. Deleted. For phones, I actually do have one. Let me quick look it up on this phone here. This is the app I used down at the beach to edit 2 videos. It's called Vlogit. So it's free. It's from the same people that actually, I use Filmora on my computer, and it's the same one as them. So except it's free for your phone, but the computer version costs a little more. So Vlogit is what I use on my phone. Great app, pretty easy to use, and I liked it. Helped me get a couple videos out when I was on vacation. The street tune is 100 plus. I mean, I guess it does depend what tune you have, but if you have like a race tune, like an all-out tune, then they should be pretty similar. At just 100 horsepower tune from what it puts on the dyno factory, I would say my truck still would have the advantage. 060, I went with Warren Premium injectors, 175 stocks. For now, I'm planning on upgrading to 190 30s next. I'm not sure when I'm going to do that, but that is the goal, to upgrade to 190 30s. Diesel rig, initially what was happening is they didn't understand the design. So EGR coolers were blowing. They'd replace an EGR cooler, and they'd leave the oil cooler alone. Well, by the time your EGR cooler blows, your oil cooler is already done. You need to replace it. So what's happening is they were getting returns left and right. Nobody really knew how to do anything with them and fix them right. So years later, the aftermarket kind of fixed this, and not to say they're not prone to head gasket failure, but what mainly was happening was as the EGR cooler was blowing, it was putting coolant into the engine, and water, the coolant, doesn't compress. So it was increasing cylinder pressure really high, leading to blown head gaskets faster. If the 7.3 was around, if they had made the 7.3 the first emissions diesel, there would have been issues too, and the later year 7.3s would have lost their legendary status. So that's kind of what gave people a bad taste about the 6-liter, but there's fixes out there for them. Everybody kind of has their own thing. I think O-ringed heads are a must. For the extra couple bucks at a shop, you can't beat how much reliability they give me. So I'm actually a little lighter than you, powerstroke 6.7, and we're making similar power. So I think it'd be whoever really hooked up first and and got their turbo going would probably take it. I think it'd be really close though. As playing the steering wheel, I took it to 2 tire shops and truck schools. They said the whole front end suspension was bad and quoted me $8,000. Wow. If someone quoted me $8,000 to redo the front suspension, I'd probably flip. I would be really upset because that sounds like a ripoff to me. I mean, maybe if you're talking a really nice lift in there too, like if they put a nice lift in, plus wheel bearings, ball joints. But I mean, you can get, Timken makes the wheel bearings for Ford trucks. So you can pick them up for 160, 180 bucks a pop. Ball joints, you're looking at maybe another 140 for nice stuff. All the tie rod ends are fairly inexpensive. Yeah, I gotta tell you, that sounds salty to me. Quarter mile. I gotta tell you, any shop that tells me they don't know what's wrong but want to replace everything, I'm questioning. For instance, on my truck, I don't know what year yours is. I have an 04. I put a 2.5-inch leveling kit up front. For the record, if you have play in your steering, most likely it is caused by your steering gearbox needing replaced. Okay, so it's not your leaf springs. I gotta tell you, I've replaced my steering gearbox because if they can't tell you your ball joints are bad or your tie rod ends are bad, then it's most likely your gearbox. They're notorious on our trucks for going bad. I believe it's Redhead Steering Box is the preferred company to go with. That's who I would get. That's who I will be getting when I do my axle swap, actually. Mine started in the family 9 years ago. 200K for an H-pop, that's not bad. I was at 180 when I replaced mine, and I think it was actually still working, but that's neither here nor there. Yeah, the 6-liter can be, there's people with 500,000 miles on stock 6-liters. I was not fortunate enough, I cracked a cylinder head. 060, I have a PowerMax turbo, and I have a fast fuel system in the truck as well. That's fed from a sump in the tank. You can tighten it up and get rid of some of it. I don't recommend it because typically that's not what's actually wrong with it. Typically, if you have play, unless it's very little play, tightening up the gearbox is just going to increase your wear on it. And I gotta, like, mine's done. I don't necessarily recommend tightening it up. Scared? Nah. Yeah, I agree with Joe here. Powerstroke 6.7, you need to go down the quarter mile once. Even if you just baby it off the line, it is a blast to have a quarter mile to not worry about running into traffic or getting pulled over or anything. It is so much fun. For $8,000, I'm happy with the play. Yeah, Powerstroke 6.7, you got to do it. It's so much fun. No, they're not hard to diagnose. They're pretty simple. Pick on some V8 muscle cars. Yeah, no, they're really not. If they really know what they're talking about with it, it's not bad at all. It sounds shady to me. We can't tell you what's wrong. We'll replace everything. It's going to be $8,000. And $8,000 to replace everything still sounds salty. I'm going to do an entire axle swap with all new parts and not spend $8,000. Go for it. Pick on some. The 7.3 needs a comeback. I'm planning on doing a couple things to my old man 7.3. Three best Fords. I haven't been back to the track since I ran my 14.7, but I will be doing on the 20th. We'll be racing again, so we'll see what happens here. It gets toasty. It gets a little hot as far as EGTs, but I need to do another pull to see because I've replaced my fan clutch and my radiator since then. So I have to kind of see, but I'm definitely planning on. I've seen as high as 15. They say if you're running it hard down the quarter mile, you can hit 18, but only for a second. I've seen 1,500 degrees out of it, and I got out of it. I wouldn't have been down the quarter mile at 1,500 degrees. My dad's 156. Tell him to switch gas stations if there was water in the old injectors because it came from the fuel. Mike, if you end up picking up that 7.3, I'll drive up with you. I'll cruise up there, drop you off, pick up your new truck. You can delete the EGR in a 6-liter without a tuner. There's check engine light for about half the trucks out there. Half the trucks, it does nothing. If it does give you a code, it apparently will defuel a little bit or detune a little bit, but nothing noticeable. I ran mine deleted without a tuner for like 3-4 months. I didn't notice any different. So, Mike, you looking at getting a 7.3, brother? Instead of a regular cab 6-liter? Throw some compound turbos on a 7.3, some big old injectors. That'd be awesome. That'd be a cool truck. I need to put a mechanical boost gauge in my truck because I have no idea what my truck hits because I max out the stock one. Yeah, at 1250, you don't really have to worry, but I know at 1250, I guess, is when the pistons can start to melt. But you got to be at 1250 for a while. When I tow, I regularly, if I'm at elevation, I'm regularly at 1,000, 1,100 degrees for pretty extensive amount of time. Now, I am hoping with the newest mods done to the truck I'm getting BD up pipes here soon, and I'll have a new cold side intercooler boot that hopefully doesn't leak off boost like my current one does because it has crap clamps on it. I think we're going to have to do the studs on the 05. My only recommendation is if you want to keep the truck, make sure you do. Personal preference here. I'm a fan of having Preston valves. Preston valve seats. They have to machine out the seat and press them in. O-ringed heads are a must for the little bit extra they are. But what happens is around the seats, the iron starts to crack. And what happens is then it leaks into the coolant passages, which gets into your injector. It will start wiping out injectors, 1. And 2, it will also put fuel into your cooling system, which is a pain in the butt because then it ruins hoses. The gasket in your radiator gets messed up. So something to consider. Or just buy Kill Devil diesel heads. That's what I did. Why going to BD up pipes? I prefer them over other setups. When I have them in front of me, I made a trade-off here for them actually that I'll be getting them shortly, but they'll be heat wrapped, and they have that nice cast piece that collects everything. It's a nice smooth passage. Whereas if you notice in a lot of the other Y pipes out there, there's areas where they can cause some pretty significant turbulence. I'm not saying it's a huge improvement, but I definitely think it is a improvement over the other options on the market. MBRP makes a nice set. The only issue I have with the MBRP ones is you have to dent the one heat shield or remove it, one or the other. But MBRP does make some heavy duty ones. I've heard nothing but good things about the durability of MBRP. What does the stock turbo get? Torque app tells me I'm getting 15 to 20. So you have a boost leak because you should be able to see 28 in stock form pretty easily. Under certain circumstances, you can boost it up to about 30. The stock turbo doesn't like much outside of 30. I was boosting mine to probably, and this is a guess because I was maxing out the stock reading. It's a 2-bar system. It stops reading at like 33.2. And I destroyed a turbo because I was probably running it much higher than that. Now, if you go to a Power Max, 20 PSI on a Power Max turbo is actually the equivalent of 28 PSI on the stock turbo. It's the difference in compressor wheels. Any updates or mods to your FICM? Truck Guy Joe, I'm not having any issues with it at the moment. I am considering tuning for the FICM prior to it to help me with right off the line. But no, voltage is holding good, and it's solid so far. Sean, do you have the MBRP ones or do you have the BD ones? If I was to attempt ARP studs in New Haven. Yes, 3 best Fords, absolutely, without a doubt. You need to take those heads off and have them machined, Magnaflux, checked for flatness, and spend the extra money and get O-rings. It's only going to help your chances of keeping that, preventing blown head gaskets. If you don't have any of that done, I can guarantee you'll blow head gaskets in less than 4,000 miles. Fit good, and the clamps at the manifold are beefy like the factory ones. Okay, so you have the BD ones. I do like the BD ones. And that's another thing. They have the clamps are thicker, which I think just you're able to pull them tighter, I think. Maybe part of it's in my head. Maybe I just like it. I'm not saying anything bad about the O-Dog ones I have. I don't have issues with them, but I think the BD ones are a better product. You can't get anything higher than 29 out of your Power Max. What tune are you running? Uh-oh, I forgot. See how long they'll hold up. I will say this, I wouldn't stud a motor until it blows. Gearhead Extreme. Are you reading off a mechanical gauge or like a sensor you put in, or are you just reading what the factory reads? Because some tuners, and I think Gearhead was one of them, SCT monitor. So that should be expandable to put in another like probe for boost. I would do that because you're probably boosting higher than that. Some tuners mess with how the ECM reads boost, and what the number that comes through is actually skewed differently than what the truck is actually doing. I'll probably, I I'm considering a KC stage 2. I want this stage 2 size. Truthfully, I wish I could just have my Power Max modded to a little bit more and get a billet wheel in it, but I'll probably sell my Power Max. I'll probably put a billet wheel on my Power Max first, just to do some videos with, and then I'll probably go to his stage 2. I want that ball bearing one, but here's the, yeah, Power Max is VGT. Here's my issue with his ball bearing one, is it's still not out on the market. He advertises it, like he talks about it, and people love it, but I haven't actually gotten to see somebody with it in person. So I don't know if he's having a hard time getting it to hold up or something, that it's been in testing so long. He had them released and then he stopped selling them. I heard about a handful of issues, which I will say I'm sure KC Turbo's taking care of them. I don't have a doubt about that at all. I would love to try one though. I'd love to throw a stage 2 on there, ball bearing, and see how it does. As of right now, if I don't start seeing some good feedback from that, I would definitely just go with a standard stage 2 turbo, to be honest, because that ball bearing is salty. So if that ball bearing isn't performing, I don't know. I just want to see some more stuff out on it. You can get them. I wish he was more available to talk about it, and if it's available, maybe I'll shoot him an email and ask, because it has my interest. I just need to know it's going to perform. It's only money. Sean, are you offering to buy me my my turbo? I would accept. I want you to know that. I'm looking at 190 30s will be my next injector, and then I will not go any bigger in my truck than 190 30s in a stage 2, because it needs to tow. Yeah, Sean, he's definitely good about responding to emails. I want the turbo. I just haven't heard positive stuff. I have talked to one person that has a buddy with it, and he did not have a good experience. That's a sample size of one, and I don't know if he gave KC a turbo a chance to fix it or not. I think it's important to give them a chance to fix it, but we'll see. I was just about to say I really want to see how the case. I do too. I want to see how the ball bearing one goes. Make sure I'm caught up here. So I had the turbo rebuilt and clean, but I don't know if the unison ring is not rotating like it should. What makes you think? What's going on with that makes you think that the unison ring isn't going? You want to check your VGT duty cycle, and you shouldn't see the extremes while driving. So you shouldn't see 15% and you shouldn't see 85% at the extremes while you're driving. Now, sometimes at idle with tunes, you can see 80%. I know I typically see like 75 to 80% with my current tune, but that can be changed just in the tuning. And I did miss, what's the best air intake? I like the S&B intakes. Next to that, the No Limit Fabrication makes really nice intakes as well. I like their stuff. So those would be my two that I prefer. Outside of that, I guess AFE would be my next one, and I don't really recommend anything outside of that. No Limit and S&B are my two favorites, and that's who I recommend. If you're looking for the cheapest way to get a nice intake, buy one of the cheap online metal pipes for the 6-liter. Buy an S&B or AFE filter, because those are the two guys on top of the market as far as filters go. No power down low. I'm not planning on changing my wheel and tire setup on this, just because I'm happy with it. Down the road, I might get different rims as these get beat up. Maybe go to something with more of like that deep dish look. I think that's kind of cool, within reason anyway. But not planning on changing it on this truck. My thoughts on the ATS Aurora kit. I haven't seen a lot of good reviews on it. I don't think the ATS kit's worth it. If I was going non-VGT, I don't know the non-VGT stuff as well. BorgWarner would probably be where I was looking at. They seem to really be the ones that are getting a lot of good reviews and stuff. I know KC Turbo sells a nice non-VGT setup kit, Ant Plus turbos, and I'd probably be looking at him. Who else does one? Diesel Doctor, the guy that I did the dyno video with. If you didn't check that out, go check that out. He has a kit that they make in-house. Maryland Performance Diesel also has one. I will say this, the Diesel Doctor from the dyno I did, good guy up there, family-owned business. And they have some cool stuff. I'd recommend either of those three or four companies, however many I listed. I would say I need to know your battery voltage first thing in the morning. I would lean away from starter if it's only first thing in the morning, and I'd actually lean more toward maybe a ground of sorts. Maybe you have a bad ground. You could run a bigger power wire from your alternator to your batteries, and then another from your one battery to your second battery to kind of keep it all going. And then you could reground stuff and see if that helps if you're getting low voltage. Also, there is a chance that you could just have gotten a bad battery. If it doesn't, depending on how recently you got them, you said a couple months ago, by a couple months, they should be pretty well good and charged up. So either you got a bad cell in one of the batteries giving you issues, or you have a ground power wire issue. Alternator could be failing a little bit, maybe not charging the batteries up quite as well as it should be. 060 non-VGT equals kaboom. Did you go non-VGT and blow your truck up? Holder down performance, I have seen of his. I forgot about him. Would I be okay again? You should be okay, but it's going to be laggy. You're definitely going to lag down low. It should flow up. Tuning and a Fickum tune should be able to kind of help out with stock injectors because you don't need to upgrade big to make them run right. You should be good. You might get a tad bit of lag is about it, but it should run fine. I wouldn't go any bigger than a stage 2. Would you ever go non-VGT? Not with my current truck, no. I have zero intention of going non-VGT with my current truck because this truck tows, so I need it to tow. Now, my next truck, if I do decide to get a project truck, I don't know that I will or not, but that is kind of something I'm looking at. Is that the burnout video, Mike? Now, if I was building a race truck, which is something I'm considering, that I would go, I'd go stage 2 or stage 3 cam, ported intake and exhaust manifolds. No, the non-VGT video. I know I've seen it. I just have to recheck it out. Is that the guy from the dyno event I met that had the non-VGT? He was a cool dude. And even then in the, if I do a regular cab build for racing, I want compounds in. I want 2 turbos under the hood. I think that'd be awesome. I believe I'm gonna try. Yeah, you should be fine with the stage 2 turbo. Definitely you'll be fine on a full race tune. A tow tune probably gonna not be that much fun to drive. But it still probably would be fine because they add enough fuel. Tuning's gotten really, really good. you'd probably be fine across the board. The more I think about it, I wouldn't worry too much. Let's start a GoFundMe. 6 owners unite in a GoFundMe. How'd you afford to build this, Jared? Well, I started a GoFundMe page and I reminded everybody to donate regularly. If I need a GoFundMe page, I think I might. I think I'd probably cry a little bit. I'd feel pretty bad about needing that. The 6.7 has really nice creature comforts that I would love to have. However, it also has a ton of emission stuff that's expensive to maintain and holds the potential for some pretty crazy fines that I don't know that I'd be willing to pay to delete it. So I think I'd rather have a 6.7 at this, or a 6-liter powerstroke at this point. 6.0 blow, please. GoFundMe. Bloke, welcome back. You came back for the tail end of this. I'm probably gonna close out of this in the next 9 minutes or so. I am not from South Carolina at all. I'm from Lancaster, Pennsylvania. But every year we take a trip down to Surfside Myrtle Beach almost every year for our family vacation. That's how I end up down there. That's why I had some of those videos from South Carolina. I shot a few more showing like the inside of the camper and stuff. I just wasn't sure if people would necessarily be into it, so I never actually put that video up. As far as, well, I just run the factory oil cooler. I don't see the value in switching to the bulletproof diesel one. Nothing against those guys at all. But for people that are towing, I know of more than 1 or 2 people that towed with it and in certain traffic had issues, or it didn't cool as well as it previously did. Now, what I'd like to see bulletproof diesel do, and this is something I would consider, is if they did a, what's it called? They do like an accessory oil cooler for the 6.4. If they did that for the 6.0, that would be awesome, and I wish they would do it. So yeah, I'm just running the factory one. Now, Josh runs Bulletproof Diesel's relocation kit. It moves it over beside the battery. Excuse me. Beside the passenger side battery. And that's a nice setup. And if you ever need to replace an oil cooler, it's a 30-minute job. Okay, got my HVAC covers. I assume 3 best Ford, you're replacing your gasket each time. If not, I would definitely start there. I'd get the correct torque spec for it as well. I do know typically they like to leak along the back side of them. And I do know some shops will use a little bit of, like there's a sealant that they use, just a little dab of, that seals everything up. And you still can't get it to. Your cover might be warped. That's the only thing I could think of. Maybe getting a different cover is what you need to do. Yeah, so I would probably be checking out to see, or it's not the cover. Well, that is a valid point because the other place, the oil cooler, likes to leak as well. Very well could be the oil cooler leaking instead of your high pressure oil pump. Three best Ford, what year truck is it? Because that kind of determines if the snap to connect fitting in the back is an issue. Okay, so you don't have that issue. You have the early style pump like myself, and it's just the cover. I would either consider your oil cooler being your culprit of the leak or a warped cover. I would replace the O-rings on the turbo drain tube, both of them, and see if that doesn't help, because it can come from there too. Make sure I'm all caught up on comments here. Do a video of EGTs while doing a burnout. Maybe I will do that. I do think I need to do a burnout video for everyone one of these days here soon. Maybe at the call out. Maybe at the call out I'll do a burnout for everyone. Jonathan, yes, we were talking about that earlier with Truck Guy Joe. I don't know if he's still here or not, but you really don't. I'm not sure if Truck Guy Joe is still in here or not, but we were talking about with him because he has an L5P that he races, and he's actually the guy that helped he's one of the two guys that really helped teach me how to actually race. But I did see that it's now, you can delete and tune them, which I think is awesome. They're charging an arm and like, oh, it's expensive. If you take a 6.7 powerstroke in to get deleted, or a 6.7 Cummins, it's salty. And what it is it carries such a huge risk for companies to get fines. So when you start talking what they can, Mike, good seeing you, brother. Hopefully we get to see you at the next call out, man. It'd be good to see you. And hit me up if you go pick that Ford up, man. I'll drive up with you. I am running 35s with just a leveling kit. It's close. It rubs a little bit, but I am running them. I would definitely race loud and proud if he comes to the next call out. That'd be a blast. Seems like a good kid. I'm not sure what truck he would bring. I'm trying to think. Probably their fastest truck is that Nasty Red, and I think that just got a built transmission. So if he were to bring that out, that'd be pretty cool to race that thing. Now I do think that probably with that power with the twin turbo or compound turbos probably makes more power than my truck. So I would kind of expect him to win. Off-road use only. 6.7 is lead. Why are you talking about fines? Well, hopefully you never encounter any of them, man. I really hope not. But the EPA is really still pushing for they really care about the diesel particle filters. That's really what they want. They don't want to see people getting rid of them. And if you do, there's a good chance they're coming after you if they find it. I did look it up. I think it's like up to $2,500 in fines, depending on how mean the person wants to be. What would be the best leveling kit to look into? I'm running a rough country leveling kit, and I don't care what anyone says. It's a nice leveling kit. I know there are some people that are like, you need to get a Carly or this kit, that kit, and all these crazy expensive kits. Well, the second they start giving me the $5,000 to purchase said kit is when I'll start running them on my truck. Until then, I like rough country. BDS makes nice stuff as well. I've seen the videos of D-Max Rhino's truck. Obviously not in person, but I've seen videos of it. Powerstroke bloke is Loud and Proud going to be at the next call out? Because I would definitely love to race him. Yeah, in Joe's case, guys, it's one thing if you don't have anything to really risk, but you have a CDL and you need to be towing. He does that to deliver trucks. You need to be a little more careful. So I think Joe's making a smart decision by not deleting his truck. Bloke, I disagree. There's plenty of free states where some people do care. What's the ST? Can you elaborate on ST? I'm not quite sure what you mean, John. Oh, yeah. Joe, I definitely agree. They're too tough on CDL drivers. They really are. They need to lighten up. Ford for life. Good to have you, man. Welcome to the live chat here. Best upgrade for my 6L. I don't know if it's the best, but it's my favorite. It's probably my stage 2 cam. Not a lot of people have cams. It's becoming more popular, but it's probably my favorite mod because it's kind of different. And I think it let me make a lot more power than on stock injectors than a lot of trucks do. So that's probably my favorite one. Pretty sure he was invited. But anything reliability, like I love my cylinder heads, the O-rings and everything, my bigger intercooler, my ported intake manifold, the injectors, the turbo were all great upgrades to the truck. But if I had to pick my favorite, it would be my stage 2 cam. Anthony at Super Duty Service does some awesome work. I love that he posts him working on the truck, his family working on the truck or trucks. And when he does the machining videos, he's clearly incredibly knowledgeable about these trucks. It's awesome what he does. And he's one of those guys helping give a 6-liter Powerstroke a good name. And he's funny. I had him cracking up a little bit talking about how I was going to do a Super Duty Service exposed video, joking around on the one live stream when that one troll was giving him a hard time pretending to be Absolute Performance when he wasn't. And I thought it was awesome that Absolute got in the next live stream and kind of set the record straight about what was happening. So fake roll cool. We'll tape them in there. We'll tape the smoke bombs in there so it looks like you're rolling coal, Joe. Jonathan, thanks for coming in, man. You take care of yourself. The best intercooler pipes. I'm currently really liking my MBRP hot side pipe. I think it's really awesome, and it's just a nice piece with great fitment. And after that, No Limit makes some nice stuff. I also want to say there's nothing wrong with the factory pipes. The factory pipes are nice. I think what little improvement you get from the aftermarket pipes, you need to really just want your truck to be running the best it can. I think it's kind of hard to justify the cost of some of the aftermarket pipes. Truck Guy Joe, good seeing you, man. Thanks for coming in. Can't wait to catch up with you on the 20th. It'll be a blast, man. Yeah, the stock pipes are fine. The first time I met him and Julia let me stay at their house. That's pretty awesome of them. First time you meet them and they're like, hey, crash at our house. That's cool. They're a hike off the East Coast. Where are they at? Let me look this up. I looked it up. I do think he's like 6 hours away or 8 hours away, but I could be wrong. It's probably longer. Super Duty service. Darn Google Maps. How often do you guys hear 605 about me? Sound good from the haters? I just ignore everyone that says my truck's terrible. It doesn't bug me at all. This is being weird. I do think he's a hike away, but maybe one day. I don't run an oil catch can at all. I might be changing that here in the near future. Ford for life, where are you at? He's 12 hours from you. It's only the rears. Your right foot block would be the problem. I'd like to find out exactly how far he is from me. Try maps. That's right. Well, he's far from me. That I can tell you. Nice. Well, guys, I think I'm gonna hang it up here and either edit a video tonight or go to bed and do one tomorrow. Get you guys a real video. Let's see what's going on. Oh, I'll have to check that out. Sean sent me a link to one of his diesel vlogs he likes, or podcasts, excuse me. So anyway, guys, I want to say thanks for everyone who came in. And this was probably, I don't think we've ever had 25 people in a live stream before. So that was kind of cool for me tonight. At least not at one time. We get a lot of people that come in throughout the whole stream, but this was awesome. So thank you guys very much for coming in and making this possible for me. Sorry, Ford for life, but I'm going to try to get better about posting when I'm planning on doing the live streams. And hopefully that allows more people to get involved or at least plan around their day a little bit. So again, thank you guys. If you already haven't, most of you guys are subscribers, but if you're not, hit that subscribe button. If you guys could give this video a thumbs up. And I just thank you guys all for coming in. We're going to get a new video out for you guys soon. And don't forget, we have racing coming up on the 20th. And I tow again on the 5th or 6th of October. So we have some more updates coming for the truck. So anyway, guys, have a good night, everyone. I always forget how to end the live stream. Oh, it's the big end stream button at the bottom. Anyway, guys, take care.